have some potatoes depressurizing over here. I'm going to blanch some broccoli real quick for a broccoli salad. So this will only go in for just a few minutes. Now this is already washed, but this process of blanching will also help pull out anything that if we didn't wash well enough. So this is 8 cups of broccoli, and I do use the stems also. I just think you should use every part of everything that you can. So I'm just going to let that go for just a few minutes. We're going to turn this off. We're going to drain it. Like I said, it'll be nice and bright, but not fully cooked all the way through. You don't want a mushy broccoli. So we've got all of our broccoli, and we're just going to start tossing in all of our ingredients. I'm going to wait to add the cheese until the broccoli cools down some, because it's still hot and I don't want like stringy broccoli. I want our cheese to stay, not stringy broccoli, I don't want stringy cheese. I want it to stay in these little cube forms. You can use regular cheddar cheese. I'm using the Flaming Jack cheese. I've got a little over half a cup of cubes. I've also got a little over half a cup of pecans that I'm just roughly chopping. I want them to stay in pretty large pieces, but not a full piece of pecan. And then I typically stay away from any kind of raw onion because we just don't like it. But I am adding some really small diced red onion to this to add some flavor also. So these pecans, again, that's about a little over half a cup of chopped pecans. Eleanor has part of an apple left from an apple cake that she made, so I'm going to use up her apple. But you need 1 apple, and this is Honey Crisp. This is Honey Crisp. You just want to make some small little cubes, about the same size as your cheese, kind of getting everything that uniform size. We're adding in this red onion, purple onion, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to add 6 slices, or about 6 slices of cooked bacon. I'm going to chop this up. Alright, so I lost off a part of it, but we've got 1 1/3 cups of mayo down in my little dressing mix. We're going to pour in, if I have a whole tablespoon of honey, but you want about a tablespoon of honey. I loved this honey when I first got it, and now I'm using it because, I mean, I don't like to waste, but it's a little too floral for my liking. And then about 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. We can add more once we get it on the broccoli. But we're going to shake it, and I'm going to hold down this lid because it's getting worn out. I don't want it slinging everywhere. Alright, so we're going to pour this all over. Oh, my lid is jamming again. It's about time for a new one. I'm going to pour it all over our broccoli salad. Give it a toss. Once it's all mixed around, we're going to cover this with some plastic wrap and just put it in the fridge and let it set for at least 30 minutes before we want to eat, which it'll take longer than that for me to get dinner ready. So it will be sitting for plenty of time. So up next, we're going to make our jalapeno popper chicken casserole. I've got a pound of bacon that I'm just roughly chopping, and we're going to throw it down in the bottom of our pan to cook, along with this about 1.5 pounds of chicken breast that I'm going to chop into little bite-sized pieces also. We're going to get them cooking together and speed up the process. I've also got about 1 pound of spiral pasta cooking in my little microwave bowl. And I'm going to cook it, I'm going to undercook it by a minute or 2, just so when this goes in the oven, it won't come out like super rubbery. Because I hate overdone pasta. So for the cream of our filling, we're going to put 2 blocks of cream cheese down in a bowl. And let these soften for a little bit. They're still not as soft as we need them. I'm going to add to this about a cup of sour cream and 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. I have a partial bag of this 4-cheese Mexi blend, so I'm going to add that in. And then I'm going to use this last little bit of my medium cheddar for the top. That's it. For just a few minutes while we chop up 6 green onions and 6 jalapenos that we are going to de-seed and then chop into small little pieces. Now that our cream cheese is all softened, we're adding in all of our jalapenos. That's only half of them. Okay, so we have all of our jalapenos in our bowl. Just slicing our 6 green onions, the greens, whites, and all. We're going to toss this in. I'm going to mix this all together. Okay, so we have all of our chicken and bacon pieces down in the bottom. We blotted it all to get some of the grease off. This is the pasta noodles that we're using, so it's like the rainbow twirlies. Going to, here, let's see if we can break them. They've been sitting in here for a few minutes. We're going to break them all up. And this part's kind of dump and go because we're just going to dump it all in the pan and mix it, top it, and pop it in the oven. So the oven is preheating to 350. And we're just going to mix this all around till everything is pretty evenly mixed. Alright, and yes, this is probably easier in a mixing bowl, but y'all know I hate the extra dishes, so I'm going to do it in the same pan that we have it in. Now we're going to sprinkle this with a little bit of extra seasoned salt and then top it with that last little bit of cheese. So the recipe calls for about 1.5 cups, but we're probably going to end up closer to about 2 cups. Well, look how pretty, and with all the colors from the pasta, the peppers, and everything. Alright, so our sprinkling of seasoned salt, our last little bit of cheddar cheese, and into the oven this goes for about 20 minutes until it's all bubbling hot. Alright y'all, so dinner is all done. We've got our jalapeno popper chicken casserole. Nice and bubbly, and you don't have to use the colored noodles, but that's what I had, and I think it looks better that way. And then some of our broccoli salad. Lots of creaminess in this dish tonight. Let us know what you think.